All right, guys. So I wanted to go over just a couple things. We're going to be doing these calls or Zooms, I guess, weekly from this point on until, obviously I have my baby, and then we might have to take a couple weeks off, and then we'll hop back on, depending on when she decides to come. Got another 15 weeks, so we'll see. But we can get a lot done before then. So one of the things that I want to start this Zoom off with is personal development. And if you guys are in the Important Team Fit Addicted group, which is another main team group, I put a post up earlier that was talking about personal development and just saying, I'm curious how many people are actually doing it every single day. Because, I've had a couple different discussions with coaches at different stages, whether it was a brand new coach or someone who's been a coach for 4 years or 6 years or 2 years or whatever. And what I've noticed with their businesses as well as my own is that when my personal development is lacking, everything else in my business starts falling apart. And it took me a long time to realize that. A lot of people are like, why did it take you, 2 years to get started on your business? And I think one of the things was because I didn't believe I could do this. I didn't fully believe that I was able to do something with this business. And what I've noticed with brand new coaches who start doing personal development from the beginning is that belief is instilled in you so early on. Okay, so in your welcome email, you have, I talk about you are a badass. Hopefully there's no kids around here. I talk about every day of Friday, GoPro. What are the other ones? Compound effect. The compound effect was actually one that really opened my eyes. So if you're someone who is looking for a way to really get into the routine of doing the things you need to do as a coach, the compound effect is hands down one of the best books you could read. The other one, if you're working on your own self-esteem, when I first signed up, I had terrible self-esteem. So if you're at that point where you're like, I just don't know if I can do this, that's normal. That's completely normal. This thing up here is really strong, and it can stop us from doing a lot of the things that we should be doing, right? That we're meant to be doing in this world. So You Are a Badass is one of those books that really helps you overcome that. I also talked about, if you're more of a religious person, there's a couple that I love, Greater and Crash the Chatterbox by Stephen Furtick. It's Tick. Those are really good, as well as Every Day of Friday by Joel Osteen. I had some people at the May retreat in Utah, and I was listening to that book at that point, and I was like preaching it the whole entire week. And after that, I want to say about 15 of them went back and actually started listening to that book. And every single person who has listened or read that book comes back and is like, thank you so much for, giving me that idea to read or listen to that book, because it's opened my eyes to so many things. Now, if you're someone who has a crazy life and you're like, Megan, you expect me to sit down and read a book for 15 minutes, you're crazy. I have a crying toddler, a husband who works all day. Like, how am I supposed to fit this in? Obviously, I'm not at that point yet. I'm sure I'll be there in a couple months. But what works for me, because I'm the kind of person who I always have to be going, I always have to be moving, I have to be doing something. I was struggling to fit my personal development in. And like I said, when I'm not doing my personal development, my business slows down. So what I do is I downloaded the app if you have an iPhone. It's called Audible. And you would just go on to audible.com to actually purchase the book. And you get credits for, I think, like the first book you buy is free. Don't mark my word, I think it is, or you at least get some credits towards your first book. And you just go on and you download it from audible.com, and then it goes into that app as long as you have the app up or downloaded. And then you just click download for that book. And as long as you're hooked up to Wi-Fi, it goes pretty quickly. But I'll listen to it when I'm showering, if I have to get ready to go out which I rarely do, but have to put makeup on, I'll be listening to that. If I'm driving somewhere, instead of listening to music, I am listening to personal development, because you guys will notice your body and your mind and everything will start craving it. Like, you'll need it every single day. My husband, God love him, he's like, you're crazy. Like, he'll come up with a new song. Like, did you hear this song? And like a brand new song. And I'm like, no, I don't listen to music anymore. I just listen to personal development. But you will realize that it's something that will make everything in your life, besides just the business, everything else in your life better. I've noticed that my relationships have gotten better with my friends, with you guys, with my mom, with everyone. Like, it's just gotten better because I've been, filling my mind with positive things. So if you are not doing personal development after that whole long spiel, you better be doing it, because that's going to be the thing that actually propels your business forward, along with the other things that I'm going to talk about. The other thing I wanted to talk about is your power of threes. Okay. Before the power of threes came together, we were talking about, and so you guys are probably going to be like, what the heck? I think Laura might be the only one that knows what I'm talking about. We had the BAT, the business activity tracker, and that thing looked like a report card. And it was stressful because you had to put checks on every single day. And if you didn't have a check, it's like, I feel like a failure, and it was the one thing that Beachbody had created that, it worked, but it was one of those things that it was almost like a negative feeling, Now we have the power of threes. And I don't know about you guys, but this thing, the minute that I started doing it, the minute that you guys, brand new coaches, start doing it, you see such a huge jump in your business, because it has everything on that sheet that you need to do. And if we've had our Getting Started Right call, I've honed this thing into like crazy. Because it has, you have to be putting your personal development in there. I know the one that we have says, like, did you listen to the National Makeup Call? Just cross that off if it's not Monday and put what personal development you did. And it talks about the different posts that you've put up for the day. And it's talked about the schedule of like when you actually worked, and how many people you talked to that day, and how many people you followed up with, and how many people you talked to about a challenge group, and coaching and stuff like that. So you have it right in front of you, and you know exactly what you've done. One of the things that I've noticed with brand new coaches that I get a lot of questions about is, where do I start? Where do I start? I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. This thing, this power of threes, is where you start. So if you're thinking, okay, that sounds great, Meg, I don't even know where the power of threes is. If you're in the Meg's 2014-2015 group, it's in the file section. I have uploaded Monday through Sunday. If you're not in that group because you're not one of my personally sponsored coaches, just message me after this and I'll add you in. Okay, I don't mind having you in there. So just let me know and I'll give you that resource. And for me, you guys, I fill it out every single day, every day, even on vacation. I woke up and I had limited internet, like we wanted to pull our hair out. It was so bad in North Carolina. But I got up every single morning at like 6:30, 7 o'clock and was doing my power of threes because I have goals that I want to get done before this baby comes. And I don't know what's going to happen when she comes. So I have goals, and I know you guys have goals too. It has to be something that you set aside. And you can get this stuff done in a half hour to an hour, okay, depending on how focused you are. If you guys saw my post, I think yesterday, I said I repeat the word focus to myself over and over again. And I do. Maybe you have a lot of chaos going on around you, and it's okay to talk to yourself. It's okay to say it out loud. Focus. Like I have things that like pop into my head and I'm like, oh, I gotta go do that. Focus. Focus when you're working. Turn every other distraction aside. That kind of goes into the next thing I want to talk about. You have to have a spot where you work every single day. Okay? It doesn't have to be an office. You can have just a little, like, I'm trying to think of, I had a coach that signed up a couple months ago, and what she did is she took like a little tiny, like, table and just pushed it against a wall in her kitchen, but it was turned away from everyone else so that when she was working, she was away from all the distractions, and her family, she talked to them and said, I'm going to let you know that when I'm at that table, don't talk to me. Just let me get it done. And after that, we can, go on and do family stuff. But you have to be strict, guys. This is your business. I think some of you might come in to coaching and think, oh, this is going to be a fun hobby. If you want to make this a full-time thing, you have got to be disciplined. And you have got to say, okay, I need to have a space for just my business. Okay? Because again, every single person that I talk to that actually does this, they're like, oh, I can't believe how much more productive I am when I don't have a million things going on all around me, right? So have a workspace for yourself. And it's nice. It's like a weird mind thing. I should talk to my mom because she understands all that stuff. But when you have everything in the same spot all the time, it's so much easier for you to focus, okay? Another thing with that, I'm giving you guys all my best tips. The other thing is setting a timer. Okay, we all have phones. Okay, we all have phones. And what I would recommend doing is setting your timer when you're doing the power of threes and you're sitting down to work for 45 minutes. Okay? It doesn't have to be 60 minutes. I know sometimes we might think, all right, I can focus for 2 hours or an hour and a half. No. No one's brain can do that. No one's brain can do that. And you'll probably, if you try to do it, you'll catch yourself drifting into the newsfeed, like the Facebook newsfeed. And that's a big sign. You got to get up and walk around. So all of my top leaders do this. They sit down for 45 minutes, set their timer, get all the work done. The minute that timer gets up or goes off, you get up and you walk around. Okay, you walk around for 5-10 minutes, and then you're either done for the day, and you're like, I got everything done that I needed to get done, or you come back for another 45-minute increment. Okay, it's funny because my puppy knows as soon as that timer gets up, because she's always at my feet. She's not there right now, but she knows when that timer goes off. She's like up, like, come on, Mom, let's go play for a little bit, and then we go back. So those are things that are going to help you really sit down and work your business, okay? As brand new coaches, you guys have a plethora of people that you can talk to. Like, I made you make that list of 100 people, right? Use it. Use that list. If you guys looked at, even at the point where I'm at right now, I have a list of like 130 people that I've talked to in just the past couple months about coaching or a challenge group that I just keep adding to. And then I go back and follow up with them. But I just keep adding. Okay? Now, this is a lot of information. I'm sorry, guys. The next thing I want to talk to you about is something that's working really well for our team. And it's called, and you guys may have seen this, because I know Debbie's seen it because I've talked a million times about it, but it's the jab, right hook, uppercut mentality. And the reason that I'm bringing it back up is because I had some people, I posted it in another group, like our Push to Diamond group, and a couple people who have been in groups with me that were like, I don't know what that is. And then, not to call out any of my star diamonds, but I had a conversation with one of my star diamonds today that was like, oh yeah, I don't really know what that is. And I was like, how do you not know what that is? So basically, what this is it's off of the book Jab, Jab, Right Hook by Gary Vander something. If you want the book, I can tell you. But if you look up Jab, Jab, Right Hook, it's right there. That's a good personal development to listen to too. But basically, as a brand new coach, what you want to start doing is posting about what's working for you, whether it be the weight loss side of things. You just started a program and you're starting to see some changes, even if it's not huge changes, whether it be that your skin's clearing up, or that you have more energy, or that, you're starting to see a little bit of your muscle pop through, or whatever it is. You need to be posting little things about your weight loss story, obviously, or if you're pregnant like me, about your weight gain story in a healthy way every single day. And so we have it broken up into 2 different ways that you can do jabs. Okay. Now, as a coach, You're wanting to help people lose weight, right? You're wanting to help clients get healthier and lose weight. And then there's the side of building a team. Okay, and the side of building the team is kind of scary for brand new coaches, but I will tell you, I will have your back every step of the way. You can add them into my groups. I know some people like to know everything before they add people to their team because they're like, I don't want to mess up. You guys, you'll never know everything. I'm still learning stuff. Okay, so just dive in. You know, that's that quote that, you know, jump and find your wings on the way down. That's pretty much coaching. And people are not going to expect you to know everything. Okay, so the two different sides, challenge groups and building your team. As a brand new coach, I would recommend doing both. Now, a jab for a challenge group, even if you've never ran a challenge group, say you've never ran a challenge group before, it's your own weight loss. Okay, sharing that you just got your booty kicked with the 21-day fix. Lower fix, right? That one's pretty freaking hard. Or the fact that you're able to stretch farther, you know, or, you know, I'm trying to think, a different recipe that you tried, okay, from the 21-day fix, just posting a meal. And the thing that's with a jab is you're not inviting anyone. You're just saying, this is what has happened for me. Now, this is something that's pretty easy for coaches with the challenge group type thing because it's easy, right? You guys all signed up because you like to do the programs and it's easy to post about that, right? The thing that gets scary is jabbing about coaching, okay? And because people never want to feel like they're bragging. Now, the things with coaching that are jabs are the fact that you were able to pay off maybe why can't I think of the word right now? Bill. A bill for the month. Or you started paying off your student loans, or you were able to afford to take your family out to dinner, or you know, you're able to pay for your kids' hockey, or something that you were able to do with that money. Okay, that you're all going to be making, even if you're a brand new coach. If you say, I'm going to do this, you're going to do it. Okay, I don't care if you've made zero money right now. Don't care because it's going to happen. All right. Remember that mindset? So the jabs about coaching are little things kind of showing people, or the fact that you're traveling and you're able to work on the way, or you're at the beach and you're answering, Jamie, I just saw you pop on. And, you know, you're at the beach and you're talking to people while you're at the beach, you know, or the fact that you were talking to someone at a coffee shop about your business, you know, little things that kind of show people, hey, this coaching world is pretty cool. Another really good jab for coaching is posting about this Zoom. The fact that you are surrounded by so many positive women right now, you know, for me, before I signed up as a coach, I didn't, and I loved my friends, but I didn't have anyone who like supported me with the nutrition side of things. Yeah, I was a nutrition major, but all of those friends went, you know, a different way far away. And I moved back to Toledo, Ohio, and had any friends who wanted to eat healthy and, you know, work out. It was all like drinking and stuff. So I needed to find that new environment. So posting about the fact that you are surrounded by positive, like-minded people. People want to be, you know, to belong to something cool. Okay, so even posting about that. Once you start getting into running challenge groups, posting about the fact that your challenger was able to, you know, zip up her pants that she wasn't able to wear, or, you know, she has more energy or drinks less coffee, or, you know, something that your challengers are saying. Those are little jabs that you're putting out. With your jabs, you have to do those every single day. Okay, every single day. Now you're probably like, okay, wait, that's a lot. Just stay with me. You can do a post about a challenge group once a day, and the next day do a post about, or a jab about coaching the next day. You don't have to do like jab about challenge group, jab about coaching, jab, you know, about challenge group, coaching every single day. That's a lot, and that would be overwhelming. Okay, and then, you know, you might run out of ideas. So spread it out, but it has to be something every single day. Okay, now this is the big one, hook. The hook is when you're inviting people to your team. Okay, and I will tell you, and this might make some of you guys feel better if you've tried hooks. My hooks always get a smaller response of likes and comments and stuff like that, because it's normal. It's people who are saying, all right, yeah, I do want to be a part of this. And sometimes it can be scary for them to put it out there. So you might be having people message you. Okay, so on the outside, people might look at that post and say, oh, Meg only got 2 people who commented on that. But really there's, 30 messages. As a brand new coach, if you put it up and you get 0 likes, 0 comments, that's okay. You put that out there. You, what they call, planted a seed. And so that as you continue to get better with these jabs, you're going to notice the next time that you put a hook about coaching or a hook about challenge groups, you're going to have more people. So what is a hook for a challenge group? That's an actual invite to a challenge group where you have that call to action at the bottom. Maybe after you post about your progress and you say, I would love to help 5 women do this along with me in September. If you're interested, comment below, or you can email me, something, or you can say, sorry, I don't know why I just burped, or you can have them say comment below with the email address. Because for those of you that might not understand Facebook, the more people that comment, the more news feeds it gets into. So if you have someone who puts their email address, you comment back immediately. You don't run after you put that post up. Because what happens is your post or their comment and your comment both count, and they keep pushing it into more people's news feeds. So you guys might see, if you look at my like page, I comment back on every single person's comment when I do a call to action, a hook type post, because it's bumping into more people's news feeds. Okay, a hook for coaching is actually inviting people to one of our 4-day sneak peeks. Like, good thing I have my calendar right here. We're running another one I'm going to do August 17th. Okay. So we have one right now from the 3rd until the 6th. And then we're going to do another one from the 17th through the 20th. Okay. So 4 days. And so you're probably thinking, all right, so wait, what? 4-day sneak peek. It's just talking to people about what coaching is in a very no obligation type setting. And what I've found, because I've tried webinars, I've tried calls, I've tried, coaching posts, I've tried the groups and everything like that, what I'm finding for our team is that the sneak peeks are doing the best right now. So I've been running 2 per month for you guys. Who knows, maybe I'll up it to 3. But for right now, it's 2 per month. So just write down that date, August 17th. And so a hook for that would be to talk about what coaching has done for you so far, even as a brand new coach, even if you've been a coach for 2 weeks, just talking about what it's done for you and say, I'm looking for people who are positive and like-minded and want to do something more with their life to join the team. And I actually have, a 4-day free sneak peek that we're running with no obligation, completely free, where you can go in and just kind of find out about it, okay? And you guys can always take my wording. For instance, I wonder if I can pull it up. Let's see. And I'll share my screen once I find it. Let's see. Okay. So, for instance, and guys, I do a lot of trial and error, okay? I did one the other day that I talked about my sneak peek. And if you have a like page, I'm going to share something extra with you. But I talk about, I want you after having, the biggest check ever when I was on vacation. I wanted to share the opportunity with more people. I'm opening up a 4-day quick glance into my business. Okay, and I'm not going to go through and read this whole thing, but you guys can, even if you don't have your own story, take my story. I don't care. Go for it. It's yours. Use me, okay? And say, my coach has been able to do this and I'm following in her footsteps. Use whatever you want from me. And what I would recommend doing, if you have a like page, is to boost that post, okay? It doesn't have to be for a lot of money. I boosted it for, $7 or I think $10 and, got a ton of comments. But remember, guys, I've been building my like page for 5 years. So if you have 100 people on there, don't get frustrated. If you're like, oh, I only had 2 people respond, that's a good response. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to boost a post. This is what I recommend. So say that I was going to boost this pregnancy. That's really embarrassing. I don't want to show you guys that. But say that I wanted to boost that video, okay? I would wait until a couple people liked it and maybe one person commented, and then you just click boost, okay? Now, for those of you who have just started a like page, I would recommend people you choose through targeting. Okay, so you can go through and you can create, and I'm not going to go through all of this, but you can go through and pick like the age. Like say we wanted to edit audience. You can go through and pick the age, women, and put interests. Okay, so if you listen to my national wake up call back in June, the end of June 29th, I talked about having your niche. Okay, this is the kind of person you are trying to attract. For instance, before I got pregnant, I was very focused on people who had thyroid issues. I wanted to help people with thyroid issues. Now that I'm pregnant, I want to help moms and moms who have thyroid issues. So for me, I would search interests like, moms, mom to be, and just type in, a couple different interests that focus on your niche, okay? And age group, I would recommend doing maybe like 22, 23, at least the youngest, and then however old you want to go up to. But just because I don't think 18-year-olds are too into coaching right now, okay? I mean, unless they're a special 18-year-old. I was pretty immature at 18. But you go through and you just press save. So say I put something in there. And I would not recommend doing a ton of money, you guys. You can do $5. Okay, you can boost that thing for $5 and get a ton of people, okay? Now, what I would recommend doing is you set it for $5, okay? And it says, boost for however many days. For $5, I might just boost it for 2 days, okay? If you want to do 10, you can boost it for 4 days, and just kind of split it between the days. Now, what does this boosting do? Basically, what it does is it moves your post into more people's news feeds. So when they're looking through, they're like, oh, say this was a coaching post. That's something that I might be interested in, and they're much more likely to see it as opposed to just putting it on your page, okay? Because sometimes Facebook can be a little bit of a pain in the butt because they want the best stuff in the newsfeed, and they've gotten smart and are making people pay. I'm sorry, you guys. It used to not be like that, but I tried to fight it for a long time, and I was like, I'm not paying for Facebook to show people my stuff. And then I was like, one, this is a write-off for you guys, and this is a very low amount of money that you have to put into this business. So you're going to need write-offs because you're all going to kill it this year. So you want to have those write-offs. And 2, it gives you such a bigger area of people that you can talk to, okay? So it's a good idea. And there's also other ways to do it without paying. If you guys search my YouTube channel, just Meg Wazinski, I have a video about how to expand your network for free, or like you can use the $1 option. But I talk about Pinterest and I talk about ways to do it on Facebook, okay? So make sure you check out that video if you haven't seen it. Okay. I'm almost done. So the hooks, you want to make sure you do 1 hook for coaching and 1 hook for challenge groups per week. Okay. Now in the past, I know we've maybe talked about saying, maybe twice or two or three times per week to post about a challenge group. If you're doing jabs effectively, your hook is going to kill it once per week. Okay. And people are not going to be like, oh, it's like white noise, like, oh, she's posting about that group again. You don't want that. Okay, so you're giving them little crumbs, the jabs throughout the week so that when you post that hook, it's big. Now with the hooks, I would highly recommend at nighttime. Okay, don't do it in the middle of the day. If you want something really good, like a coaching post or a challenge group post, do it at nighttime. Because you got to think about, most people are at work during the day. Okay, and maybe you're at work during the day, so think about that. Okay, so they're not going to be checking it. Even lunchtime's not very good. But if your target's like stay-at-home moms, maybe morning time would be better for you, like after their kids go. You got to play around with it, okay? The last part of that is uppercut. Now, the uppercut is my upline. Janelle kind of added this part in. It's not in the book. Is following up with people. Oh my gosh, you guys, following up is so big. You might talk to someone about coaching, or talking to someone about a challenge group, or talking to someone about a free group, and they ignore you, right? And you're like, oh, I can't believe they didn't ignore me. Oh my God, my feelings are hurt. I can't believe it. Like I've been there where I'm like, oh, that kind of hurt. And then I find out that maybe like they had a death in their family, or their kid got sick, or something like big happened, and I'm like, oh, now I feel like a punk. Like I was so upset that they ignored me, and they just had this huge life thing happen. So what I would recommend doing is, after you talk to someone, if they ignore you, follow up with them. Give them 2 or 3 days, whether it be that you send them information about a challenge group or coaching. Give them 2 or 3 days and follow up something very light. Okay, just something like, hey, I hope everything's going well with you. I was just checking in to see if you had a chance to look over that information. Or if it's a challenge group, hey, I'm so excited about this upcoming group, and I would love to have you be a part of it. I'm actually saving a spot for you. Are you still interested? Something super, just simple. And that kind of gives someone the option to say, you know what, it's just not going to work out this time. And then you can say, all right, that's okay, maybe next month. Right? So don't be afraid to follow up with people. Now, with follow-ups, if you follow up with someone like 2 or 3 times and they ignore you, then peace out. Like if someone ignores me that many times, I'm like, you can come back to me, because you guys have something so special to offer to people, like such a huge opportunity to be able to work with you and get like healthier, or to start a business that could help their family. Like that's a huge opportunity, and you better cherish that. Okay, so if someone ignores you, it's not something you did wrong. It's that they're not ready for it right now. Okay, and you planted that seed, and they will be back. They will be back, because it happened to me. Like I was one of those people that I hate. Like it took me like 2 or 3 years to sign up as a coach after the first time I heard about it. And then Janelle, I think she had to follow up with me like a million times. So don't feel bad. Okay. Okay. One more thing I want to make sure I go over. Let me make sure I covered everything. Okay. The last thing that I want to cover is talking about Emerald. Okay. Emerald is the first rank that you want to shoot for as a brand new coach. The quicker that you can get to Emerald, the better. Okay. And the thing with Emerald is I was so terrified to get to Emerald, and I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to have anyone sign up on my team. And, it's all that negative mindset. And then when you start saying, no, I'm going to do awesome things with this business, and I want to help other people do that too. Like I want to share this opportunity with everyone, because I've seen what it's done for my upline. I've seen what it's done for other coaches, and it's going to happen to me too. Like I know it's going to happen. I know it in my heart, and I want to help other people do that too. Okay. So for Emerald, you just need 2 people. 2 people. Okay. So if you have a spouse or a boyfriend, and hopefully it's someone you're going to stay with, but you sign that person up. You sign them up and you say, you don't have to do anything. Like we're going to have Kirk, my husband, actually do a call for the team. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he's going to do a spousal call in a couple weeks with some other of my diamond leaders, their husbands, but just see what he kind of does for me. Guys, he doesn't do any of the recruiting or any of the posting. Like if you look at his page, like you're like, is he alive? Does he ever post? Like he posts he posts the stuff like when I'm like, hey, like what happens if we do this? And he'll like ask on Facebook, or like whatever. Like that's Kirk. But he does the behind the scene things. So for me, I signed him up as a coach to run his business center. Okay. And as a brand new coach, that is the smartest thing to do. Okay. The smartest thing to do, to have a parent or a husband or a wife or whoever at the top of your business center. Why? Because as you continue to grow, because you're all going to grow and have amazing teams, it's going to happen. Just believe me. You want that person at the top to be someone who you're close to. Okay. Like I wish I would have met him just 3 years earlier, and then he would be right in the best spot ever, but I didn't meet him till later on in my life. But I had my parents at the top, and I didn't understand this part at all. And if you guys heard my national makeup call, I actually fired my parents. They were like at the top of my business center, and then I was like, yeah, I don't want you anymore, and I just deleted it. Biggest mistake ever, okay? So you want people at the top, because what's going to happen is they're going to benefit from what you're doing as well as what I'm doing, okay? So you want to make sure that you're thinking about that. If you have a friend who wants to sign up, you sign up that spouse at the same time and you're Emerald, okay? All of you guys have been talking to people about coaching, not coaching, Beachbody stuff, okay? And maybe they haven't bought it yet, but maybe you have someone who you know has gotten awesome results on a program. And guess what? They got it from eBay or Amazon, God forbid, right? I've done it before I signed up. So that's not the worst thing, but they got awesome results. They love the programs. You sign that person up as a coach on your team, because they're going to be able to, I don't know why she's going psycho, but they're going to be able to benefit from helping more people too, okay? So think about those people on your list, and don't say, oh, I can't talk to her, she bought it from Amazon. We don't know any better before we sign up as a coach, okay? So think about that. I want all of you guys to think about it when you get off this call. 2 people who you could think about having as a coach, okay? And they don't have to be into fitness. They don't have to be into working out. They just have to be someone who's positive, okay? I don't think Mercedes on here, so she'll be okay with me saying this, but she signed up as a coach and had never done any of the programs. She's the girl that I did the coach spotlight for this week. If you didn't look at the view pinned post in the 2014-2015 group, make sure you do, because she has her tips on there. She had never heard, well, she had heard about Beachbody, but had never done a program, had never done a challenge group with me or anything, but she saw this opportunity as something that could change her family's life. And she's very positive, very uplifting, and just ran with it. And she's doing awesome with her business. She's just gotten through the 21-day fix. So don't rule people out who have never done Beachbody, okay? Just if it's someone who you're like, oh, she's so cool, I'd love to have you on my team. Just think about that, okay? Or like my sisters, I was like, you're signing up. It's going to happen. You're signing up. Just take it over. Now you're probably thinking, how do I control his business center or my mom's business center and mine? You don't have to sign them up on Shakeology Home Direct, okay? I think that's the biggest question I get from people, like, oh, he doesn't drink Shakeology. My husband will not touch it, right? Or like, he's totally not into this. You can either put one customer through them every 5 weeks. That's just 50 PVs or more, okay? So just keep them active. Or, I don't know if you've seen those Shakeology boosts. I think, Debbie, we would have been talking about this somewhat. I think so, yeah. Put the boost through them, like the digestive. I haven't been able to try the energy one because I'm pregnant, but I've heard it's really awesome. The digestive and the greens, you guys, it's awesome. Like the boosts for Shakeology were like genius. So maybe put that through on Home Direct to keep them active every 5 weeks. There's ways to do it, and it's so smart to have people who you care about and you love at the top of your business center. Because I look at mine and I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, come on, I should have put family members up there. So don't miss that opportunity. The last thing I'm going to make sure I cover, and I know I said that was the last, but this is kind of off of it. If you look in your downline or you look in your Coach Online office and you see it says, 1 coach added to your network, or 2 or 4 or 0 or whatever, to see people in there, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. You don't have to touch them. I remember I was like, Janelle, who are these people? I don't know these names. What am I supposed to do? It just means that when you get to that Emerald rank that we were talking about, you're going to benefit from what they're doing with what we call the team cycle bonus. And I'm not going to get into that because that is a ton of information. If you YouTube team cycle bonus, there's a really good video by Michael Niemand that explains the whole team cycle bonus. It's kind of confusing until you see a video about it. But just know that the faster that you get to Emerald, the more you're going to benefit from what your team is doing. Okay? So do you guys have questions on anything I just went over? Because I just like word vomited on you. I'm sorry. Anything? Anyone overwhelmed with me? I'm sorry. This is all really good information that you need to know. I'm going to give you some little things to take away though, okay? I want you to message me by tomorrow morning, every single one of you, to message me the names of 2 people, okay? If you already have one coach, then I want to hear, 2 more names. If you already have 2 coaches or 3 coaches or 10 coaches or however many coaches, I don't know. I want to know 2 more names that you're going to talk to about coaching this week. Okay? It's scary. I get it. It's out of your comfort zone. That's what's going to make you grow as a person, as a coach. Okay? And with this business, it's scary to talk to people about coaching because we don't like hearing no, right? But you're planting that seed for someone. So as you continue to share what coaching's doing for you, I 100% guarantee, and that's a big guarantee, that the majority of the people you talk to and say no, they're going to come back. They're going to be like, oh, all right, it wasn't right before, but I'm ready now. Okay? So 2 names. I want to see Facebook messages from all of you on this by tomorrow morning. We'll say by like 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so you guys have a little over 12 hours. So if you're smart, you'll get it over with right now. And if you need my help, you're like, I don't know how to talk to someone about this. I don't even know how to bring it up. Let me know, okay? And we'll talk through it. That's what I'm here for. Use me as much as you need me because I always have my phone right here. If you don't hear from me, it's because I have it turned off. I got yelled at by my mom earlier because I have to turn it off because I get a lot of notifications. But I'm not ignoring you, okay? But I will get back to that a lot faster than I get to Facebook messages, okay? Just a heads up. All right, so that's pretty much everything for tonight. Thank you so much for getting on, guys. Next week, we're going to kind of open it up for you guys to talk and go over a couple things of what's working and not working and stuff like that. So make sure you hop on next week. And if you guys have any questions and you're just too nervous to ask me, feel free to text me. Okay, I'll have my phone right next to me. All right? Alrighty? All right? Can I see nods from everyone? Yeah? Okay. Well, guys, thanks for getting on, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.